Hey Yin friends, welcome to another Yin 10. Today we are going to have our long hold of the week and we're going to move into a wide leg straddle fold, dragonfly as we call it in Yin. So you may want to have a good selection of props or things that could work as props nearby, as we'll be here for the entirety of our time together. So when you're ready, we'll just start in a seated position, maybe cushioning your hips with a prop so that you can sit upright and let the bowl of the pelvis tilt forward. So you'll widen the legs just about as wide as they feel naturally like they'd like to go. And then I like to just start with props out in front of me so I don't feel this pressure to come all the way to the floor too quickly. So I'm going to build a nice little tower for myself here. The toes, you want them pointing somewhat upward, but they can even turn slightly in or out depending on what your legs naturally do, as long as that feels safe for your body. So not too much activity in terms of activating the legs. Really let them be soft and heavy. When you're ready, we're going to use an inhale to lengthen the spine, and then use an exhale to start to fold forward. You can let the back round, especially the upper back and the neck, the cervical spine. And just allow yourself to sink into that first layer of sensation. So this isn't necessarily the physical depth that you'll stick to the whole time, but it's kind of those fringe sensations, the very first part of landing into the pose, where we start to build our awareness, start to notice boundaries. So just begin your time by focusing on the breath and letting it meet you here in these quiet first sensations you're feeling. And of course, as it feels right for you, you can start to make your way a little closer to the earth. Some days, just depending on the energetic sensations we're feeling, we might need to stay a little more upright. Even if our bodies can go deeper, it doesn't always mean that we should. We want to align our physical and energetic needs to really experience the benefits of the posture. So never moving just because you're flexible, but because you feel open, both physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually as well. As we've talked about before, deepening and advancing in the yin practice is less about how far you go in the pose, more about how long you're able to spend time there. So today is actually a very advanced yin practice, 10 minutes in one pose. Give yourself grace and give yourself time. No agenda, just you and your breath and what feels right. The nature of the yin yoga practice, the stillness that we're trying to cultivate, is pretty countercultural. It almost feels physically unnatural, sort of like this quarantine season we're currently in. Most of us are not really used to slowing down, to being with ourselves, being with our thoughts, our home lives, whatever it is for you. In quite a saturated way as we are right now. So the yin practice actually trains us to face times like this where we are practicing more stillness, a slower pace. Trains us to respond in a way that's soothing and nourishing for our physical and energetic selves. It's not always going to come easy, but it gets easier the more we practice, the more we show up. And with 21 days, we actually build a habit. So maybe in practicing this YIN10 for 21 days, you are learning to build new habits, new ways of being, training yourself to be still. You have a little more time here, a couple minutes. Maybe you find that final sweet spot to settle into. Shouldn't feel forced. Just allowing your props to catch you where you need a little more support. And from here, we'll start to come out of the pose, but do so slowly, one little layer at a time. Once you're at the top, you can guide the knees into a bent position and find a comfortable seat that works. And just pausing, feeling everything kind of return to its neutral place, neutral way of feeling and being. And gathering up this space that you've created today, guiding your hands together at the heart. Feeling those inner rhythms still working, heart beating, breath moving. Reminding you that you're here, you're alive, you're present, And that means you're very truly blessed. Namaste.